Good morning, people. Oh, I haven't adjusted the light this morning. I'll almost sort that out. Right, good morning, folks. How are we today? I've got Charlie Cat in my knee, but we'll progress anyway. Anyway, I hope you're all fine. Ackies, you've got hands working on the t-shirts. Have you? What did I get my fucking drunken arse involved in last night? There's the bloody question. Oh dear. Oh dearie dearie. I look forward to the results of this one. Anyway, who's on? Morning, June. Morning, Mark. Morning, Lorraine. Morning, Lorna. Ackies. Hey, Alistair. Stella. Stuart. I hit the thumbs up, folks. It all helps. Hopefully by 12 o'clock today, I'll be doing a Motherwell, giving away your money. Just waiting a phone call. I've asked the person to phone me about lunchtime because I'm putting the broadcast out now. Okay, right. Where are we? Numbers are climbing nicely. So let's get this done. Charlie Cat's out my lap. So it's Indy Truck Davy out the truck and at home in his office in Silver, North Lanarkshire, where I always am these days, as you know. And where it is a beautiful day, 15 degrees, clear, sunny, pollen counts high. Take your antihistamines if you get hay fever. And the high for this area today is expected to get to 19 degrees. I hope it's as nice as it is here where you are. Now, that's the weather for Southern North Lanarkshire. If you want to know what the weather's like where you are, look at your own bloody windy. Alright. First up this morning, by the way, we got some real interesting stuff in the papers today. Couldn't fucking make it up. But first up this morning, we have an SNP bad story, as we always have, from the Scotsman. Let's find the fucking thing. The Scotsman, where are we? Here we go. Ministers taking a wrecking ball to North Sea oil and gas. SNP accused of squandering Just Transition Fund, as only 120 jobs have been saved. Well, for a start, the Transition Fund isn't there for saving jobs. It's there for retraining people as they leave the oil and gas sector. Now, it's a £500 million fund. It was put into place in 2022 by Nicola Sturgeon. Since then, in a short period of just over 2.5 to 3 years, they have created a whole fucking industry. They've hired 120 instructors to be able to train people to move from oil and gas to renewables. They've set up the school. They've trained 120 people to move from oil and gas, which is a fucking miracle. And the fact that they've only spent 43 million setting all that infrastructure up is fucking great. But what's really interesting is, folks, this transition that we were all going to participate in and get us all into clean energy, folks, it's not fucking happening. And I'll prove it to you right now, because I knew this already before this fucking stupid story hit the papers. And that is, there is no transition. So here's your evidence that there's no transition. Okay, here we go. We'll just bring it up. I asked how many oil and gas licenses have been issued by Westminster in the last 5 years. And the answer, folks, is 400. Green energy transition. My arse. 400 new licenses in 5 years. There is no transition. We are doing a Donald Trump. We are drilling, baby, drilling. And we are pumping, baby, pumping. Why? Because that shower of shite in Westminster couldn't run a fucking bath, never mind an economy. And they are fucking skint. Transition. It's a miracle to get all that infrastructure, all that teaching staff, and actually have retrained 120 people in 2.5 fucking years. and only having spent 43 million of a £500 million fund. Setting the whole fucking thing up. A whole new education platform. In 2.5 years for only 43 million. That is value for fucking money. But the truth is, the reason why they have trained so little, in 2 years, imagine getting it up and running in 2 years and having trained 120 people. But the reason why it's only 120 people, there is no fucking transition. There it's there in front of you. 400 new oil and gas licenses in the last 5 years. 5 years, there are 27 licensed areas. Geez, oh, we get some nonsense in the news, don't we? We get some real nonsense in the papers, folks. And the Scotsman's right up there at spinning a fucking yarn. Let's take that down. What we have. Anyway, next up this morning we'll get her answered, and you know we don't put their answered up, and their answered has an an entertainment story. Capaldi on Glastonbury torment. Worst day of his life, apparently. Well, actually says worst day of my life in the front page of the paper. But it's not my life, it's Lewis Capaldi's life. And apparently when he had a breakdown at Glastonbury a couple of years ago, it was the worst day of his life. Worst day of my fucking life was yesterday, the day before yesterday, and the day before that, and it'll be tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow. You know why? Because none of this shit gets any better. None of it. There's a bit of an empire. It's fucking sore. It is painful. Now let's move on and see what nonsense the fucking Herald's got for us this morning, shall we? We always like a bit of nonsense. And the Herald has. Scotland's economy needs an ambitious vision, says Blackford. Scale of UK finances proves threat. State of UK finances proves threat. Well, for a start, Mr. Blackford, Scotland's economy is fucking booming. Our banking sector is now the biggest banking sector in the fucking UK. We have a diverse economy covering many, many industries, especially food and drink. But we have textiles, we have education, we have human resources, we have medical sciences, we even have some industry left and manufacturing. But you're right about the state of the UK finances being a fucking problem. That's because they half-wits down that road, as I said a couple of minutes ago. Couldn't they run a fucking bath in their mind, regulate and run an economy? Free markets for you folks, that's why everything's fucked. Regulated market means a balanced market. These fucks don't understand the basics. And we've spoken about the basics before. In order to have a healthy economy, you need a healthy, well-educated, happy, content people. Don't have that here in this island. Every day. These people don't understand the fucking basics. Right, next up's the scum, and we don't put that up either. And it's got a royal story this morning. And apparently, Air Miles Andy is cleared for takeoff. Good, let's hope he doesn't come fucking back. The one less fucking scrounger to worry about. Saying that, don't worry much about him. I think he should be in fucking jail, the pedo git. Right, next up we'll get a Daily Fail. Let's see what nonsense it's got for us today, shall we? As SNP to be handed huge payout by Chancellor, critics urge spend our $9 billion windfall fixing broken Scotland. For a start, it's no your fucking money. You, Westminster, withhold 60% of the monies that Scotland revenues. So you're just giving us back a wee bit of our own fucking money, thanks very much. As for broken, if Scotland's broken, England, Wales and Northern Ireland must already have been taken for the mechanic shop and consigned to the fucking graveyard. stroke scrapyard. Because all our public services function better than their public services. All our public services are funded better than their public services. All our public services run more efficiently than their public services. All of our services run cheaper than their fucking services. Hence, we've got more money in our fucking pocket than they idiots down that road down. Broken. I'll tell you what's broken. Becoming ill and deciding whether the £9.90 to buy your medicines is available to you. That's fucking broken. Having eye problems and having to pay 25 fucking quid to see the optician. That's a fucking problem. Fuck. Broken Scotland. Fuck's sake. Their social contract is 10 times better than their social contract. And I was just talking about the basics. Healthy, happy, educated population. We're not the one with a broken education system where we charge people for higher education. Fucking idiots. No one in England's awash with right-wing fucking knuckle draggers. They're fucking illiterate, ill-educated muppets. Anyway. Broken Scotland. You fucking crack yourself up. For that fucking English rag. Oof. As if that wasn't bad enough. Up comes the next fucking loony English publication in Scotland. The Express. SNP handed £6 billion boost to the NHS, but keep moaning. Moaning? You mean protesting? Protesting that yous fucks withhold 60% of the revenue, which is generated by Scotland. And tell us be happy with the crumbs off the table. Fuck off. But keep moaning, not demanding. If this was an equal union, the only fucking things we'd piper would be foreign affairs and defence. All the rest of the revenue generated in Scotland and from Scotland's fucking continental shelf should stay in Scotland. But it doesn't. Because our neighbour next door's too fucking poor and can't keep a good set of books. So he's going to keep raiding our money to keep it afloat. Fuck's sake. Oof. In the mood for this one today, folks. That's not the worst of the fucking nonsense. The best stories international. The worst and fucking worst piece of nonsense today is in the eye. When we get there could be a fantastic rant coming. Anyway, next up after we get rid of the only rag, the Express, is the Times. Let's see what the fucking nonsense is in the Times today. Shall we? England the only problem, folks. And I'll explain why it's England's only problem in 2 seconds. PM said to press Macron for one in, one out deal. Pact to return channel migrants and accept asylum seekers with family connections to the UK. Well, as I say, it's an England only problem. Why is that? Because in order to carry on the project of settler colonialism in Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales, they have to control immigration. Because that means that we can only take people from there when our economies need, when our population needs. And that's what we call settler colonialism. We have no choice but to go to England for people. Wales and Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland's a bit different. I can go to the south for people. But Wales and Scotland, we have to go to England for people because we can't bring them in from abroad ourselves. And that's why we have the settler colonialism here in Scotland and in Wales. Because as our economy grows, that means we need people, and the only people available to us are English. And I don't know if you've noticed, folks, but since the Poles left and the Europeans left, every fucking supermarket counter in Scotland at this point in time is staffed with somebody from England. So it's an England-only programme. But if you want to understand why they won't give up immigration to Scotland or Wales, that's your answer: settler colonialism. They're breeding us out. It's a long, slow process, but as far as they're concerned, they've got plenty of fucking time. Unfortunately for them, it hasn't worked as a project in Scotland and Wales. Because when the people come north, they assimilate, they become us. We don't become them. Which is an interesting thing. That's why it's never managed to happen over 300 years, and even longer for Wales. Thanks very much for the super chat, Hugh. Thank you very much. And apparently we have a pair character flying in the air with a red cape and smile on his face. Good stuff. So that was a Telegraph. That was the Times. Let's take it down because the Telegraph will be next. No doubt. Seems to be an order to it. Next up with the Telegraph. What nonsense has it got? This has got fucking pure idiocy. This is one of the funniest headlines of the day. This is one of the funniest headlines of the day. No borders between us, King to tell Macron. Apparently Charlie's going to tell Macron there's no borders between England and France. Problem with that is, of course, we all know there is a border there. It's a fucking 22-mile wide body of water. But it would appear that fucking big ears, sausage finger, adulterer is too thick to know there's a body of water between fucking England and France. Somebody nip down and remind him of the channel, will you? He is getting on a bit. He might be getting a bit senile, so just remind him there is a fucking border. A fucking 22-mile wide body of water called the Channel. The English Channel. Hilarious. Tell you it was a funny fucking headline, didn't it? No real. So apparently Charlie doesn't know that there's a 22-mile fucking wide body of water between England and France. Oof. Fucking. Tell you there's some nonsense in the papers today. This next one's the best one, but this next one's the best one when it comes to fucking spinning shite. Thanks, Lenny. We've got a lemon character laughing out loud. This next one's a stoter. This is how to spin nonsense and how to spin nothing into nonsense. Wait, you see this one in the eye. Now we're doing the other end now. Here we go. 50,000 children will be lifted out of poverty due to rebellion on welfare reforms. Let Davies fix that for you. No children will be lifted out of poverty, but 50,000 additional children will not be condemned to fucking poverty. That's how to spin bullshit out of nothingness. 50,000 children will be lifted out of poverty. No, they fucking won't. They won't be condemned to going into poverty. That's all. No children will be lifted out of poverty because of that rebellion. Not a single fucking one. That headline is flat out bullshit. Just flat out bullshit and spin. Unbelievable. When Tories take aim at SNP transition plan saving only 120 jobs during 43 million outlay. Remember, setting up a whole new education system, folks. Hiring the people to do the training and actually getting 120 people through retraining in 2.5 fucking years is a miracle. It's no waste of fucking money. Fucking idiots. But as I say, that one's the best one of the day. That's how you spin bullshit out of nothingness. Wow. And they're allowed to print it too. This one's a cracking story, this one. If you don't know about this one, folks, go get your national. Honest to goodness. Gaza River area row call to Starmer and Sarwar. Flynn says pair have questions to answer over ties to Blair think tank after members of staff are linked to Israeli project. Claims of Israel first approach at the BBC as well. But what's this story about? The warmonger, Tony Blair, and some business associates have been putting a plan in place to make Trump's dream of evicting the people from Gaza and building a Riviera of the Mediterranean in Gaza, minus the fucking people, for the rich to party in. Mr. Blair, think tank, has a few employees involved in this, along with other Israeli businessmen. So it would appear it's serious, folks. They do intend to empty Gaza. They do intend to steal the real estate. And they do intend to turn that into a playground for the rich. And Tony Blair, the war criminal, has been involved in making up plans to bring this to fruition. Don't know about you folks, but I find that fucking not just believable, plausible. And I reckon the Bank of England will have some sticky fucking fingers in the back of it and all. That's for sure. But now you know. The plan is to clear Gaza, turn that into a playground for the rich. Oh dear. Oh fucking dear. But we knew that. It's just hard to realise who's involved. The same old criminals. What we got next? The Guardian. What's the Guardian got for us today? Bosses face ban on non-disclosure deals that silence victims of abuse. I should fucking well think so. This idea that in a settlement you can gag the person that's leaving your employee, it's fucking outrageous. You've done something wrong. You've been caught. You've had to pay the fucking person off. And you've had to pay them compensation. And you've got the right to gag them so that they can't warn the next person that takes a position. Fuck off. What sort of society do we live in where this sort of thing was allowed in the first place? You should think it'd be fucking banned. It should never have been a thing in the first place. Never. Unbelievable. I will take that down. You think of that, folks. We live in a society where an abuser is allowed to pay off its victim and then gag them. Wow. What does that say about society? The mind fucking boggles. And I mean that, the mind boggles. Next up we'll go the Metro. So let's see what the Metro's got for us today. Mushroom murderer targeted me 4 times. This is a crime story for Australia, folks. The lady there in the image went out and got some poisoned mushrooms and cooked a beef Wellington with it to poison her in-laws and kill them. And it's quite the story. It's been grabbing a fair bit of attention worldwide. Anyway, that's her ex. Apparently she tried to kill him 4 times before it. You think he might have fucking told somebody? Maybe his family would have survived. Spanner. Right, time to put the book down. That tells you we're coming to the end. And we'll just get the star left to look at. We'll have a look at that one together because I can't remember what the fuck's that. But interesting story. What an interesting way to kill people. Just get to pick some poison mushrooms. Excellent stuff. Need to bear that one in mind. Make sure Sarah doesn't get to read the fucking story. If it disappears at any time soon, folks, make sure the autopsy when they find my body checks for poison mushrooms, will you? Okay. Last one of the day, the sun. Let's see what it's got for us. Sorry, the star. The sun doesn't go up. Well, it does outside, but not on my fucking page, it doesn't. And the stars go, new drunk patch will tell you when to stop. The hangover cure. That's not a hangover cure. That's telling you when to fucking stop before you get a hangover. That's not a cure, folks. That's a preemptive move. So we've got nicotine patches, we've got HRT patches, now we've got an alcohol detection patch. I'll not be bothered my arse for that, because I know when it's time to stop. It's when I fucking keel out. I don't need a patch to tell me I'm drunk. Yeah. Generally, when I hit the flare, it tells me I'm drunk. Yeah. A patch to let you know it's time to stop having a haul, because you're in danger of getting a hangover the next morning. What's the fucking... That's the whole point. Climbing out your bed rough as fuck, climbing in that shower and getting douche staff to freshen you up. That's the whole point of getting drunk. So I'll not be spending any money on a patch to tell me when I'm drunk. I already know when I'm drunk. It's when I run out of fucking alcohol. Right, you guys, behave yourselves. Thanks very much for your kind contribution today. Thanks for watching in such huge numbers. Please hit the like button on the way out the door. Thanks to the mods for moderating. Tell Charlie and his pals they only own half the English channel, John. Right. That'll be the English side. Right. I don't think Charlie knows about this English channel thing, because he said there's no borders between England and France. Fuck's sake. Right, we're out of here. I've got some things to get on, mate, and I'm waiting a phone call coming in from a Midlothian charity. And we'll let you know how we got on Thursday. Okay, bye now.